Hello, and welcome to Have At Us, Reviews for Your Pleasure, where we share our honest thoughts, opinions, feelings, and often hot takes. I'm Joshua.
I'm Nietzsche.
This is episode 33, Sunshine Girl. We are talking about Weathering With You, a 2019 animated movie from Japan. Before we begin, we invite you to have at us. Our social media links are in the description.
You know where I think we need to start right now? The fact that this was actually a great film.
A great film.
A great film. Yeah. It was not just a good film. No, this was a great film.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't expect to hear that from you.
You didn't expect that? What did you expect here?
I thought you were going to say it was decent.
It was decent. Not even good. It wasn't even, reaching the good category.
Yeah, I gleamed that because I just feel like some of your comments while watching it didn't leave, a super positive impression.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. It was small things. Nothing in particular. But, no, I wasn't expecting you to say that at all.
Okay. What did you think here?
I think it's somewhere between good and great.
Somewhere between.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure I've decided completely.
You haven't even decided yet. We're sitting down to record and you're like, wow.
Sometimes that's how it's gotta be.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes voicing your opinions and thoughts out loud can really help you decide on how you're feeling.
Alright, let's hear any opinion. Anything you feel you need to say. Just first thing.
Art, very good. Animation, right? It's great. Clearly, a lot of time and care was put into it. Solid visual film. I like that. I think the cast, pretty strong. I like the characters. There's nobody in the cast that I dislike, so that's a good thing.
You know, the rain animation really sells it for me. I don't know that I've seen anybody else do rain animation and sounds nearly as good. It's a big deal to me. Now your film is Weathering With You. That's about a sunshine girl and it's raining all the time. If you failed to do rain even good, your film wasn't making it. But they put a lot of effort into it, and I appreciated that a lot.
You know, it's funny because while we were watching it, I was thinking, this is very relatable lately.
Straight up, though, I need to get me a sunshine girl. Right, that's the new love of my life. No more cat girl. Cat girls can't make it sunny when I want it to be sunny. And eventually, after I have greedily gotten all of the sun, this girl just dies. So, I've got to take it out.
Yeah.
I make sure I get some life insurance on this woman.
True.
And then she happens to just die.
I don't know. File a missing person report.
I'm feeling like this is the ideal woman right now.
Yeah.
I'm needing to find me a sunshine girl.
It's a good idea.
But yeah, no, it has been rather rainy when it wasn't supposed to be. As of recently.
The rest of the country, watch out for heat strokes. But over here in the Pacific Northwest, it's just raining. That's what we get.
It made it up to about 60 or so today.
Ooh.
At least when we were recording this. But the sun was out. It was still really windy, though.
The sun was out. I didn't like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, you find yourself one of these rain dragon girl things that we made mention of and then promptly never explained.
I will do that. She's a dragon girl? That's pretty perfect.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
Are you just thinking of your dainty raw women over there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now that we are nicely off topic, you also mentioned the characters. And they're fine. They're good. I don't love any of them.
That's fair. It's a problem with movies, I think. It's really hard to make a character really shine as wow, this character is amazing. But I think this film does a good job of making all the characters likable. And you're like, okay, I can get behind them. There's no one that really stuck out as, wow, this guy kind of sucks. At the beginning, I'm thinking Keisuke.
Mm-hmm.
Or Kei. I was thinking, this guy, we'll see how he turns out. A lot of times that kind of archetype in Japanese media can be kind of not the most pleasant. But honestly, the guy seemed pretty decent. Not the perfect, not a perfect guy. But he's helping out. He's trying his hardest. Trying to get control of his, or custody of his daughter. Makes sense. He's pretty generous and understanding. He seems pretty intelligent.
he's fine. He's definitely the weakest link of them all. Because he's just kind of the typecast. He's there, and he does his thing. He helps out in the end. If he had more backstory, I guess I could have been more engaged with him. But I didn't get that.
Well, a lot of his backstory comes pretty late in the film, where you find out, okay, the daughter, the dead wife. It's like, okay, you can kind of infer a lot from that.
I mean, you can, but, like, I don't feel a lot of sympathy because she's just some faceless woman, and I don't know anything really about her. Like, and it was weird because you put the weird scene with, his mother-in-law, I guess we'll call her, in there. And that didn't make a lot of sense until later, but it still kind of isn't the greatest. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Because it's like, you can't see her, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't really get it. I don't understand what your deal is. But then, he gets her out for the Sunshine Girl thing. And I'm like, I don't understand exactly what the problems there are. Which is why I could have used a little more. But I didn't get that. And that's fine. He serves his purpose. That's what he is.
I like his relationships with his niece, Natsumi, and I like how he takes in Hiroka, because he sees, himself within him. I get that. He's surprisingly insightful. He seems to have a pretty good understanding of the people around him, even though he comes across as kind of like lazy, and he looks lazy and uncaring. But I like the little bit of insight you get from him every now and then. I thought he was pretty appealing, and I liked his relationships with the others. Even though it's like, well, I'm only paying this guy 3,000 yen a month. It's not a lot of money. That's, rounding about $30 a month. Not a whole lot. But with the, live-in situation, you get a roof, food, everything, including your phone bill paid. I feel like if you're running away from home, there are worse situations to be in.
A lot of worse things could have happened to him.
Which, I guess you do kind of see at the beginning, right? Things aren't going too well. Living life in the slums, doesn't seem too appreciated.
He's not even really in the slums. He just kind of doesn't have anywhere to be. He's just homeless.
Yeah.
Kind of, but I don't really know exactly where he's living, I guess.
Well, it looked like he was living in like a internet cafe kind of thing. I don't think those are normally live in, but I know in Japan they got all kinds of weird places that you can kind of rent for a night, and it's just like this small little cubby hole.
Yeah, but he was in like his own little room that he was living in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's little things like that exist, but I just think that's kind of weird. I mean, it's probably pretty cheap compared to like an actual hotel room, but it's weird.
I mean, that's fair. There's like the capsule hotel things, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, they're doing weird things over there.
Some people really like the capsule hotel things.
I'd try it.
I don't know that I could make it, is my problem.
Just one night, like, alright, let's see what this is all about.
Yeah, but everybody's around you. Like, even though, like, I can shut the curtains or whatever, like, I don't know. It seems kind of weird.
It would be a little weird.
That makes it sound like I'm up to some shady stuff. And that's probably true. I mean, I already did reference, finding a Sunshine Girl and getting the insurance money after she dies, so...
Yeah, I mean...
I'm clearly not a good person. That's where we're at right now.
True.
Let's hear another character. Pick one. Anyone.
How are you feeling about the boy Nagi?
I don't love how effeminate he looks. It's a little too much. Like, I get it. I get the, pretty boy androgynous nonsense here. And it pays off later when he needs to escape the cops, basically.
That's a funny scene.
It's funny because of how resourceful he is.
Yeah.
And these girls just come in and just like, and you're like, oh, okay, he's a player and he's got his friends. And then he's busted out. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this guy's like a, 4th, 5th grader age. And he's slaying it. It's pretty funny.
It's interesting. I don't know. Like, he's entertaining, but I don't really like his look. That's kind of my major issue. He serves his purpose in the story, and that's good. And he's funny on screen a lot, but that's about it. I don't know much else on him.
I'll say he was another character where, when we were first introduced to him, I thought, oh, this kid could be kind of annoying. There's kind of an archetype for like the younger brother situation to be kind of overbearing or really arrogant and just kind of unlikable. And he kind of introduces himself and he seems a little like, what's going on? But then he's like immediately, with them with the Sunshine Girl gig. He's dressing up as some kind of, ghost token. I don't know what the heck this thing is.
It's like a spirit.
Yeah, a spirit, which is kind of funny looking. But he seems to get pretty involved pretty fast. He seems to be pretty encouraging, pretty understanding. I was like, you know what? I didn't know what to expect from this guy. But turns out he's a pretty decent character.
I think he's engaged because, poverty's stricken and your mother's dead and you gotta try and make it work and not get caught. And it seems like, sure, why not? Let's do it. And that's fine. That's the desperation of it is what it seemed.
Yeah, but I didn't get the impression that he was like a terrible person. He's fooling around with multiple girls.
But they seem to know each other, right?
Yeah, it's very
they both
weird.
Show up and he's... I don't know. I wasn't sure...
He knows the game.
If they were actually kind of being strung along, or if he, had just some weird relationship with it. I wasn't exactly sure. And I didn't really need to know.
Yeah.
Because it just worked.
Yeah, it worked. It was funny. It's set up earlier in the film. It comes back in a pretty funny way, tricking the officer. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I liked him.
Well, we'll go to, what's his niece's name?
Natsumi.
Natsumi. I wanted it to be not that. I knew it was an N, but I was just like, no. Natsumi is fine. I like that she's always giving him crap for being, a pervert over there. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you are goating him into it just so you can make the comments. And it's pretty funny.
She's definitely doing that.
But I like that she was the mistress.
That was funny.
I just thought he was going to make the one comment and move on. And then we brought it back. And it was well placed. It was a good moment of levity for that to happen in. And then Hina's over there just like, what? You are... Okay, buddy. You're a pretty questionable guy.
I guess. I don't know. I think she definitely kind of, she dresses in a provocative way. He's a 16-year-old boy. I mean, it's not hard to put one and one to make two.
I mean, she is goating it along, as I already said. I agree.
And so I think she has good interactions with the cast. She seems supportive. She also seems a little crazy. She seems to be a believer of some of this supernatural stuff. Now, I guess you're living in a world where Sunshine Girls do exist. So I guess it's not completely unfair for her to believe in some of this stuff.
I don't need you to be trying to crush my dreams by saying Sunshine Girls don't exist right now. Need you to back up a little bit.
They exist in Japan. So if you go there.
Uh-huh. Now, if I take the Sunshine Girl back to the U.S.
Yeah.
Does that mean the rain follows? Or Japan just gets screwed over by my choices?
It follows her. She's connected with it.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, it rains a bunch here anyway, so...
But no, I think... I like how she comes in at the end. And she's like, yeah, I'll join you as a criminal. Just like, I'm not sure you're thinking this through. And then she makes the comment about, oh, maybe I could be an officer on
a motorbike officer.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm thinking that's not going to work out. And then immediately Udoka makes that comment. I like that. That's pretty funny.
I mean, her best scene at the end is where the highway is flooded or whatever, and she's like, I'm going for it. And so she does, and then just fails. Absolutely fails. And I feel like that was a good deal, because I feel like we do things like this in movies or, fictional things.
And then it miraculously works.
Where they're like, yeah! And it's just like this ridiculous feat, and you're like, okay, you're probably gonna make it, I guess. And I thought she might make it. I was like, Are you gonna... And then she's, boom! And just sinks.
That's pretty funny.
And she's like, go!
It worked. I think all this cast is really playing well together. But I suppose that means we got the main two people we should discuss.
We're already on Hadoka.
Alright, we start with this kid.
Who seems kind of sketchy at first. I feel like you're kind of like, I don't know, you seem like you're not doing good things. He needs to figure out how to make some important life choices, though. First and foremost, do not pick up random guns you find. And do not carry them everywhere with you. In Japan, especially. Don't do that.
Well, he thought it was a toy. It's totally fine.
He convinced himself it was a toy by denial.
Yeah, but still, he thought it was a super soaker.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, it's a real gun. Gets kind of close to killing a person with it. That would have been crazy. That would have been pretty intense, actually, if that had happened at the beginning of this film. But maybe that'd be a bit much.
I don't know that it would have played out nearly as well. If he had killed him at the end or something, if he had shot someone at the end, I think that would have been more entertaining.
That would have been crazy. Fair enough, he doesn't actually want to kill somebody. He doesn't seem like a terrible person. He does seem to have some, bad case of wanderlust almost. Like, you're gonna leave home because of this light. I'm not sure I'm following you very well, but okay, you get there. Seems really irresponsible. You're still in high school, and you're just gonna go, make it in Tokyo.
I'm so confused as to the reason why he actually left. Because the scene with the following the light, he says he has a dream. So he's saying he had a dream that happened.
Yeah.
Not that that's the reason he left home. He will not go back home, though. Very set. It will not happen. And I don't understand exactly. It's a large criticism in my world, is that, like, it's an important point that I feel like we need to know. Even if he never tells anybody else, if we just had a scene.
I thought at first it must be like, okay, family trouble. You're not getting along well with your mother and father, or whoever. That's what I originally thought it would be. But then it's just this vague dream thing. I'm like, okay, that makes less sense. This seems a little weird. But okay, you seem that dream must have truly been just life-changing. Like, wow, I've never felt this way. It felt real. I'm gonna run away from home.
I don't even know that the dream is what his motivation is. Like, it's not clear enough in the movie for me to justify it. Like, I'm fine if that's what you want to go with and believe here. I don't think you're necessarily wrong. There's nothing that says otherwise. But I don't have enough evidence that says it is either.
I assume that is because it's the only thing that makes sense with what we're given. So, okay.
I don't know. It wasn't clear enough. It was kind of a big deal.
The movie starts off with him on a ship, leaving. Keisuke saves him from drowning. Good on him. I thought it was kind of funny that he's having him buy him a beer and everything. Kind of funny. But, yeah, you get the sense that something more was happening. It would have been nice to know a little bit more. But regardless, I like how he gets there. He seemed to have some kind of savings, and he's rationing it out as much as he can, and he's trying to make it, trying to get work. He seems determined, and I like that. He's taking it seriously. He seems like a very serious kid.
That's the joke, right?
Yeah, overly serious. But it worked for him. I like that he was pretty resourceful, but he made some kind of bad mistakes, like grabbing the gun and taking that with him. Now he throws it away after shooting it.
Yeah, a little bit after.
Yeah. Not making all the best choices. But I think he was an interesting character. I think he has a decent relationship with everybody. Is he the most amazing protagonist you're ever going to come across? No. But I think he serves the story of this film pretty well.
I feel like he's more like a narrator. And I feel like Hina is more so a protagonist. I'm fine with both of them being a protagonist. But I feel like it's just that his perspective is what we're given, but she's the important point here.
I see what you're saying. I just feel like a lot of the real information about her, like her actual age, isn't given till later. She's a little bit too much of a mystery, in my opinion, for her to really be the protagonist. But I guess, if it's a Great Gatsby situation. I don't really think it is, but
I'll take either way. It doesn't really bother me. But I'm going with the better option here, because I'm always right.
Yeah, you are.
So that leads us into Hina, who is a liar and potentially willing to sell her body. Has a questionable scene that we drew the line pretty far back, so you weren't exactly sure where we were going. It was a club of some sort.
It was definitely a little shady. She's probably not making the best choices. But do I expect a 15-year-old to always make smart decisions? No. Do I understand the lying? I get that you're trying to keep your story straight.
I don't know. I mean, she seemed to be trying to, hold out as long as possible.
Yeah, and she's trying to get, work. That makes sense. It didn't seem like she was going to school.
I mean, I was confused because it was a part-time job, and so I wasn't sure if she was going to school. I
don't know.
We don't really see any school at all, I guess, which is, I feel like, kind of different. I feel like a lot of anime films, or anime in general, we gotta have some school scenes. It's important.
Yeah, I thought we saw the brother go into school, though, on the bus, but maybe that was just soccer practice or something.
I don't remember him going into the school. Maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not positive. So, yeah, I'm not... Maybe because it's summer, they were on vacation. It's kind of hard to discern all the facts. But she seemed like she wasn't living appropriately, given the situation. But, your mom died a year ago. You're trying to make it. You got some weird powers.
She discovers them after her mother dies, or as her mother dies.
Yeah. So, I get it to some extent. I think she's likable, but... Again, I think all the characters on their own aren't particularly interesting. I think their interactions with the others of the cast is what makes them good. Really? And it's the same with her. On her own, her powers are interesting. It's an interesting situation. But personality-wise, she's, reasonably nice and playful and kind. Positive things. But she's not incredibly interesting. But her interactions, her willingness to try... She's resourceful, and, she's trying to, raise her brother. I think those are all more interesting and plays out pretty well. I like how they create this job on the internet, and it seems to go pretty well. It's interesting.
I mean, it's interesting. I think that she's resourceful, and I like that. I don't love that she lies, but I get why she lies. But it all catches up with her in the end, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that it kind of blew up in her face. I'm a little confused as to what her real personality is sometimes, though. Because she, flips when he shoots the guy, reasonably so, and then she's tells him he's the worst thing ever, and he throws the gun, and then she comes back. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. You seem a little questionable.
I think it's easy to have an initial reaction, and then... Give it a second, you cool down. You realize this kid doesn't look like he's, very proud of what happened. She's like, okay, I can kind of see what's going on. She gleams pretty fast that, he's a runaway. I get it. It doesn't feel unnatural to me.
Oh, it felt kind of weird to me. It wasn't a big deal, but it felt a little weird. And then she, becomes fast friends, basically.
Yeah, pretty quickly, honestly.
And then they, are doing good things. They start their business.
Seems pretty lucrative, honestly.
But I feel like at some point she had to have noticed the weird, raindrop skin thing.
Oh, probably.
Going on, and she just still continued. But I feel like I could have used a scene that showed that.
It's another reason why I'd say she's not really the protagonist, is you just don't really get a lot of her perspective. And I assume she's just hiding it, right? She mentions she likes seeing the people smile and that she's bringing joy, and she's proud of that, and so she's probably feeling somewhat conflicted and probably pretty confused, to be fair. It would be pretty weird, and who do you go to with that situation?
Talk to your good business partner.
I don't know. Does a 15-year-old really trust another teenager to help them figure this out? I don't know.
Maybe. I'm not really sure. I don't know. But I don't feel like I got grand amounts of information about anybody else either. I just think that there's a lot of small details that could have really tightened up the story and made it a better experience. Now, it was a great experience already, so...
Sure.
You're doing pretty good for yourself. You could have just done a little better.
You probably could have done a lot with an extra 10 minutes, honestly. A couple lines, make things a little bit clearer.
How long was this film?
Just under 2 hours.
Just under 2. Yeah, nah, see, I feel like you could have done like a 2.5 hour film, and I still probably would have been pleased if you'd done it right.
2.5 hours is pretty long. Could it have worked? Sure. But I think it would have been tough to squeeze in another 30 minutes.
No, I think you do some stuff with this, cloud world thing. Show me more about that. Help that really work out. I can kind of show that everybody had their own, sunshine girl per city or province. Could have worked, right? You add in some of these smaller details about, Kay and his daughter and how that worked. You tighten up some of these details with Hina and Hadoka. I think that all could add up to another 30 minutes. I think it really could have worked.
Maybe.
But it didn't. Still good. Well, great. I'm backtrack here. The funniest scene with Hina and Hadoka, though, is where he's like, you wouldn't have been able to make it in that club anyway. And he's like, looks her up and down, and she's just so flat-chested, and she shouldn't have any curves. She's nothing, right?
Yeah, that's pretty savage, honestly.
It's pretty funny, because it's clearly a comment that, only a teenager would really make.
Yeah.
You made it and you thought, oh, I was stupid. You still made it, though. Because your filter isn't engaged enough for some reason.
That was pretty funny. I'll grant you. It's a funny scene.
But that covers all our main characters. We got some cops in there that are kind of irrelevant. We got Pompadour Cop.
Pompadour, yeah.
His name is Pompadour, by the way.
I saw the haircut and I was just like, it's hard to take you seriously. You can't take anyone seriously if they have a pompadour.
I want to meet someone in real life who wears a pompadour.
I don't even believe it's possible at this point. Like, you're using your real natural hair? How do you even do that? I have no idea.
You work it up in there. It takes a while. I saw a guy who was bald, like your status bald, but he had let all of the sides grow out, and he had figured out how to, put it all up in kind of a bun-esque fashion to where it looked like he wasn't bald. It was legit, too.
That's funny.
I did not see that coming.
I can admire the dedication, but just embrace it. Just embrace the baldness.
He wasn't ready to do that. Not all of us are sadly cursed with baldness like you are. Irrelevant. I think a pompadour is possible if you were really trying. And I want to meet the person who puts that effort in. They probably get up and they have an hour just doing their hair.
Oh my God.
And making it work. It'd be funny. Let me tell you, it would be hilarious.
If you take a shower, does that ruin it?
Probably, but you don't have to wash your hair every day. You might be able to get away just washing around.
It would be interesting to meet somebody with that. But that's not a common hairstyle in anything. In media, it's not common because it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I'll say about the cops, these seem pretty incompetent.
The amount of times that Hadoka gets away from them. At the one point where they're trying to get him into the interrogation room, and there's 3 of them, and he just, boom, ducks it out, runs out of the police center. Nobody stops him.
Complete failure.
I mean, the one guard at the door.
He tried.
He did try. He is better than basically everybody else.
Oh my God. That I thought was a little much. I was like, okay, you're really gonna fail this badly? I get you're maybe underestimating him because he's a kid, but at the same time, I don't know.
I guess he did get caught the once, and then his sunshine girl saved him with the lightning. Another reason I need a sunshine woman.
The summon lightning?
Yeah.
Or to save you from the cops.
To summon lightning upon my enemies.
Okay.
When I'm angry at someone, just...
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
On their car. I'm not trying to kill anybody.
We would just blow up their car.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of cars in the world. And gas is super expensive right now. Nobody even needs a car.
Ugh.
I saw a funny meme that was, beer is cheaper than gas, so don't drive drunk. And I was like, that's pretty creative, actually.
Interesting.
We're just adding up good traits up for my new waifu over here.
One of my problems is I feel like the punishment for all these individuals seemed pretty light. This kid had a gun and fired a gun twice, and he's, running away from cops, evading, doing all this stuff, and he just gets probation at high school? doesn't really get in any more trouble. He's able to come back. Seems pretty wild. Keisuke goes over there and assaults an officer directly. Yeah, a couple officers. Seems to get away pretty okay. Natsumi, assisting in the evasion of a criminal, even if it's a minor, seems to get away from that.
Well, she was told, like, you gotta stop, right? You need to pull over thing. Because up to that point, I could go plausible deniability, right?
Sure.
I know he told me whatever, so I let him get on.
Yeah.
I was just going. I didn't see the cops or think about it. But then she cuts him off, and then the cop's like, "You got to pull over." Like,
and she says no.
She says, "No, I think I'll become a motorcycle cop."
Yeah.
Yeah, woman, do it.
So I just feel like I'm confused at the sentencing. I would have liked to see this trial and how ridiculous it had to be. How embarrassed are the cops that they let this kid get away so much? I'm just kind of curious of the whole situation. I would have liked to see that.
Yeah, I don't really understand how it all went. Maybe minors get treated pretty decently, and that explains that. I do not understand what happens to Nagi and Hina in reality.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because they know they're minors, they get caught.
They would probably be separated.
But I don't really know. Again, details that I think could fill this extra 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And really, really tighten it up.
Yeah, you may have convinced me. Honestly, this I feel like this could have used 10 minutes on its own to figure all this out.
I mean, you could have done it quickly. It didn't have to be long. Longer would be better.
I want the court scene.
That's fine. You can have your court scene, I guess. That's a whole deal. We also don't really resolve what happens to Natsume.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's hanging out.
We don't really know. She's looking for a job the whole time, and I don't really know if she gets one or what happens with her. Or
who knows?
She's not one of the secretaries at the end.
True. I don't know that she's cut out for it in the end. She seems like there's only a few jobs that could hold her down.
I don't even know what kind of job she's looking for. Because we spent time on her and her job search. I needed some resolution there, and I just didn't get it.
It would have been nice. It's kind of funny that if she got nothing, I think that'd be kind of funny, but we don't know. I'd hope after a few years you figured it out. But I don't know, you didn't seem like the person to do that, so who knows?
She seemed young and like she would mature eventually.
Hopefully. I don't know that the influencers around her are necessarily the best.
Rain is the best influence.
The cat?
The cat.
The chonky-ass cat.
He's not chonky at the beginning. He's malnourished and sad.
But at the end, I saw him, I was like, what the Good God. What did you feed him?
It's very much an anime cat, too.
It's pretty funny.
Because when we animate cats, I feel like we don't animate big, fat cats.
Yeah.
But Japan frequently. It's the big, fat cat.
This guy fit that bill.
That are somehow very athletic, often too. They like outrun a person, and you're like, look, I've seen some fat cats. They do not outrun people. They're fat. They suck. Except they're really funny looking. They get really fat. They kind of have the little waddle thing going on.
Yeah.
Aw, it's pretty funny.
I will say, I think Rain was a nice little touch for the film. Brings him in, takes him to the house that's not his house. He's living there. Keisuke seems to grow some attachment to the cat. Lets him stay. I think it's kind of a nice little story arc for the cat.
Well, I just like that the cat has enough human personality that it works when, they're like, well, the cat says. And it works. It feels like the cat really does understand what's happening and doing things. But it's just enough that I don't feel like this might as well have just been another character. He's still just a cat.
Yeah.
He gets saved. And I appreciate that.
I like when Keisuke opens the window and all the water comes in. I don't understand why he made that move. That was a stupid decision. But the cat's just up on the couch, laying there like, I'm ignoring this.
I mean, his house clearly was already flooded.
Yeah. Wouldn't that suck? You get up, you look at your windows, and there's water outside them, and you're like, oh, God.
I mean, there's water on the floor, especially with our new door.
Well, our door, if we wake up, our rooms are on the second story, so I'd be real concerned about going downstairs. I'd be like,
I'm forcing you down to fish all my books upstairs.
Oh, my God. Whew.
That's the price you pay for not finding me my sunshine girl.
I'd be looking after that.
You better be.
You know, Japan has that rent-a-girlfriend, rent-a-family.
Yeah, you can rent a whole family.
Yeah, you can do that. Maybe one of those is a sunshine girl. We can do a whole thing.
Like we're renting the same family? We're both renting a woman?
Well, you are. I'm not taking any part of this.
Oh, you don't want any part?
No. I'll set it up for you, though.
You will set it up for me. You will pick the sunshine girl. My sunshine girl better have glasses.
So I have plenty of glasses.
Plenty of glasses? She just needs one pair of glasses.
Okay, what if it breaks?
She can be prepared and have a backup pair, but that's it.
Okay. Two pairs.
2 pairs.
Okay.
That's all she gets.
Do they need to be identical?
No.
Okay.
As long as they're glasses, not like sunglasses. Glasses.
How do you feel about those lenses that you can just clip onto the glasses?
Nope.
No, you don't like those?
Not acceptable.
Okay.
She may have another pair of sunglasses if she needs sunglasses.
Okay.
Which is fair, because she's a sunshine girl.
True. This movie does scream Japanese, though.
It's very much a Japanese film. And that's fine. It knew what it wanted to be. It delivers. It's got issues, but they're not generally major issues.
Would you say this is this director, Makoto Shinkai, I actually think it is.
You wanna try one more time? I think that was only 5 attempts.
Makoto Shinkai. Do you think this is his best work?
Well, I've only seen this in Your Name.
Well, I thought you saw 5 centimeters per second.
Oh, did he also do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I have seen that. I don't keep track of who directs a lot of these things. Anything else he's done that I would have seen?
I don't know what you call it, like it's Garden of Voices or something. I don't know if you've seen that though.
No. I know what we're talking about. I don't remember what the name is either though. So we're gonna rank these 3 films by how they are. We're going Your Name is in last place. Cause it's really not that great.
Okay.
Like it's fine. It's a good experience, but it's far from great. Maybe
Okay.
we'll watch that and review that at some point.
I've never seen it.
I mean, I watched it because it was so popular.
It is popular.
And then I go 5 centimeters per second. 5 centimeters per second ends really weird with its last little thing, and it's not great, but it's engaging. And then we'd go here.
Okay. This is the only thing that I've seen of him, so.
I mean, you would not like 5 centimeters per second.
I don't believe I never watched it because I'm like, I wouldn't like this.
It's just so tragic.
Yeah, I don't need that. I wouldn't enjoy that at all.
But yeah, this is definitely his best work. I mean, this is a good film up here. Like, it's pretty high up there.
Alright.
I thought I'd like this film, but I was like, man, this is pretty grand.
Well, that's a positive. Finding things you like.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard, but we're doing our best.
Are we, though?
I mean, we could be a little bit more we could choose things that I know you like.
Like what?
Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
I do like that.
Yeah.
That's it? That's all you got for me?
You said like what? You didn't ask for a lot of, examples.
Oh my gosh. Whatever over here. It's technicality nonsense over here. I'm so cool.
Yeah, because you never played the technicality card.
Never in my life
Yeah.
have used semantics to my advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Or complained that people don't know how to use semantics.
Mm-hmm.
None of it. Ever.
Doesn't sound like you.
Never in my life. You wanna know why?
Because you're a righteous man?
Exactly. I don't even have to fill it in anymore.
Yeah.
That's a good system we're in. Anyway, you know what we need to talk about right now? The use of music. And the background music, really great. I was really enjoying it. And the sounds mixed with the rain, it was all balanced really well. It was good. But then we have the sections where we break away to song multiple times.
There's like 3 or 4 times.
And the first time I felt like it was a really late opening sequence.
It felt like it.
But then I realized that it was just something where they directed it to where there wasn't anything that needed to be there. And so they used the song and the lyrics really tied in.
It's a montage.
I don't know that it's exactly a montage. It's music playing over a scene. There's not a passage of large time there.
There's a passage of time that shows the progression of a character and his relationships
It's
with
small.
what's going on. It's a montage.
I don't know that I'm calling those montages. But that's fine. You can be wrong yet again. I think montages are longer periods of time. That's kind of my deal. I could be wrong. But we're going to say you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
Because, I'm pretty grand and righteous, so.
Mm-hmm.
Humble. Humble is the word I would use to describe myself right now.
Yeah, that's the first on my list of words for you.
But those all actually really worked.
They sounded nice. They worked visually.
Well, the lyrics worked,
Yeah.
and I think it was a risky business.
I was surprised we did it so often.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was a risk to play that and use that as a medium to progress, but it worked.
I liked it.
And it paid off, and I was really pleased with that.
The music was nice to listen to. I like the sound effects of the rain.
I mean, it was good. The rain, top notch.
Yeah, the sound department in this film I think is pretty good, so worked pretty well. Now, there's a part of this film that I did really like
Mm-hmm.
with the ending, and it's more of like the result.
Okay.
I like that Tokyo is flooded, and I like that it's the consequences of the main character's action. In particular, Huraka goes and brings her back. And he's like, screw it, I don't care if it rains every day. And this causes some actual real-world problems of having her come back and survive this ordeal. And I like that there was actual consequences that would affect the entire city of Tokyo, and probably all of Japan, realistically, because Tokyo is a pretty important city. And so that, I thought, was really interesting, especially because I don't like it in films very often, where we do the whole, like, oh, we gotta let this person go for the greater good. I find that boring, predictable. I find fiction a lot more interesting when somebody's willing to risk everything for a person. Whether that be a romantic interest or family or whatever it is. I think it's more interesting to have a character that says, screw the other people, I'm getting what I want, and that's important. And I like that. I thought that was pretty cool. Now, he seems to kind of have some fear of his actions and, like, some regret, and that's understandable. In all likelihood, you just had 20 million people lose their home, or some crap. There's like 30-some million people, I think, that live in Tokyo. So that's a lot of people you've just kind of upended their lives over. So I imagine you would feel some regret over that, some guilt. But I think that's a pretty cool touch of the movie. I like that a lot.
It's different, and I appreciated that. Because they kind of end up together, but not really, and then she gets taken away, and then it's kind of this tragic deal. And you know it's going to resolve somehow, right?
Yeah.
You definitely didn't think she was gone for forever. But I did not expect it to be like, well, if you want to be together, everybody else suffers.
Yeah.
Ha. And then he doesn't even get to be with her because he has to go back.
Well, yeah, for what, 3 years?
And then he gets to come back after 3 years. And then they're great. He found his sunshine girl.
Yeah, I just thought that was pretty interesting. Because I feel like a lot of movies would have just been like, oh, she comes back and things are all right. We don't have to worry about the rain anymore. No, we still got to worry about the rain. That was definitely a problem. And it's still a problem. You just decided to, accept it. And I thought, you know what, that's cool. That was probably my favorite aspect of the film, actually.
It was really good. It was an important point to nail the ending, and it does. It really nails the ending of it.
Very cool.
I'm excited for when we get a sequel about how they've doomed the entire world.
The entire world is flooded.
And they're just sitting there on their own little, boat. Just the only people left.
What if this became like a Noah's Ark story in the sequel?
Honestly, I'd take that. I don't think there is going to be a sequel.
No.
I think we're one and done, which is fine, but...
That'd be interesting.
I'd take that. That'd be interesting.
That'd be pretty crazy. I would not suspect that. Be like, all right, yeah, you got me.
Now I'm suspecting it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
spoiled
obviously.
the non-existent sequel for me.
Dang.
Jacked up.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, the story of it really works pretty well around that front. It resolves itself well. I think it's told well. It builds itself well. Besides, the details that I've already mentioned are missing and would be important. Any other story things you need to bring up? Any other scenes or things you wanted to know? Or
I thought the scenes where he shoots the gun, were sufficiently tense. And, like, when he pulled the trigger, it felt like he pulled the trigger to a gun and this was, like, a big deal. And it was interesting. I like those scenes a lot, actually. I thought they were pretty cool.
It works out pretty well. The music works and the sound effects work. We dropped the noise at the first one where he fires into the lamppost.
Yeah, and that guy's looking like, oh crap.
Like everybody's stunned, but Sunshine Girl figures it out.
Comes to her senses.
And runs away.
I thought those were good scenes. Especially the second one where they're up in the building and all the officers there. They're pointing their guns at him. This is like a standoff kind of scenario almost. Pretty intense.
I'm impressed he didn't get shot in reality.
Well, if he was here in America, he would have been shot.
100%.
No doubt.
I don't know exactly how it works in Japan, because I'm pretty sure their officers don't normally carry guns.
Yeah, maybe it's if you suspect a person to have a gun, you're allowed to get one as a line of defense, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works. Maybe they do normally carry guns, but I didn't think they did.
I'm pretty sure in the UK they also don't carry guns.
They do not carry guns in the UK.
Yeah, so I'd assume it was like that.
But I don't know. That scene is interesting, and how it plays itself out, and he, says the one line that really gets, Kasuke to figure it out, and tackles the officers. The important point is that the handcuffs stay there.
Yeah.
It's a very important detail.
Yeah, I was looking to see if they ever disappeared.
Well, they were there the whole time.
Yeah. I still thought when they were falling in this mystical cloud, why didn't you just put your handcuff onto her?
It was closed.
Yeah.
Notice the detail. It was technically closed.
That's true, but I just feel like it would have been a cooler scene if you had, like, the key or somehow.
He doesn't have the key somehow. That would have made it more annoying.
I'm just saying. You could have done something with this.
I mean, if he, had locked it to her wrist and was like, no, we're staying together forever, some nonsense line.
Oh, that would have been a little cheesy, right?
It would have been cheesy, but it would have worked.
It would have worked.
I would have taken that.
Yeah.
I don't need it, but I would have taken it.
Oh, well.
Missed opportunity.
That's how it
really,
goes.
but...
That's how it goes. The good thing they're doing a sequel. They'll fix it.
The sequel you already spoiled for me and everybody else.
Now, what animals do you think they save this time?
Penguins?
Penguins, yeah.
Yeah, they're saving some penguins.
That's a good choice.
They're definitely saving cats.
Yeah, honestly.
All varieties of cats they can get a hold of. Like, all variety of felines.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's Japan. There will be wolves.
Are there wolves in Japan?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because no dogs.
No dogs.
So you get wolves. It's important.
Wolves seem more useful.
I don't know. I mean, you've got big cats, so I don't know what you need wolves for, but...
The sleigh?
What?
Well, when the world freezes over, and you need these wolves to pull your sleigh that you're on. You can't trust a bunch of cats to do that.
It's because cats aren't that stupid.
Well, yeah. Maybe.
You disappoint me. Anyway, I don't have anything else here. I've said my piece. It's all pretty great. You got anything you need to say on anything else here?
No, I'm pretty happy with it.
That's because it was a great film. And because this is a great film, it's been a good pleasure discussing it. And we hope that this brought you some pleasure. We wanted to share this pleasure with you about how great this was, because it's really about you guys. If you haven't seen it, we need you to go ahead and watch this film. It's important. It's a great film. It's got my glowing recommendation. Not just a normal recommendation, it's glowing. So you need to go see this? I mean, Josh doesn't have as glowing of a recommendation, because he sucks. But we need you to come have at us. We need your comments, like, subscribe, follow, leave suggestions, share this. All our social media links are nicely down in the description.
There's one more thing you can do, and this is for the good of everybody. And that's, you need to start picking up strays. Or at least one.
Like stray cats, stray people.
Whatever.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
If they are alive, they can come into your house.
They're alive living on the street.
Yeah.
Right.
You take them in.
All right.
Condition number 1, though, they must listen to this with you every episode, every week. It's very important. Second condition, do whatever you want. It's your house.
Those are pretty open conditions.
Yes.
But, we gotta spread the word, make it happen. I'll share my glowing recommendation and score here first. And it is a 9 out of 10.
I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Have at us.